Hey, how's it going, guys? I'm Paradoxic, and I literally just finished recording for The Walking Dead, just finished recording a reaction for that, and then I checked Twitter, and the new Loki, a new, a second/third official trailer for Loki has been released by Marvel, so this was unexpected. They dropped a Black Widow trailer on us like not 2 days ago to confirm the new release date, and now I think as far as I know, Loki's release date is still. I think Loki is also releasing in June. I think June or July. I think that like now. Black Widow's movie has been pushed even further back, but I think Loki's was actually confirmed a while ago to actually be like a June-July release too, so like similar-ish kind of slot, so that's interesting. But this one is a new trailer, don't know what they're gonna try and give us this time, or how, or like what kind of vibe is going for. I think tonally and like material-wise, I think WandaVision and Loki will match up closer than anything else. Will like Loki still like following that same kind of story of like mindfuckery and time travel and sorcery and stuff like that. So yeah, I think WandaVision went from confusing to really, really mystical, like in a way that over time, as they went on, things start to make more sense. So with Loki, I don't know if they're going to go with that same route. I think, like the trailers for Loki and WandaVision were really similar in the sense that, they give you all this stuff and they give you these different settings and characters and you still have no clue what's going on. So I can only imagine that this trailer, going in with that expectation at least will kind of allow you to consume this trailer that much better. But yeah, we have Owen Wilson, we have Gugu Mbatha Raw, we have the man himself, Tom Hiddleston, confirmed for this. We have what's his name? Richard E. Grant. We have Richard E. Grant too. I don't know if we've seen him before, but we may well see him in this one. I think the last trailer we got someone who looked like Black Widow, but who people then later confirmed, or at least theorized, was actually meant to be Lady Loki, since Loki can shapeshift into different genders and stuff. So I think that one was meant to be Lady Loki. We had Loki himself kind of disguising himself as DB Cooper, a guy who jumped out of a plane with a suitcase full of cash and no one ever found him. It's one of those kind of unsolved mysteries type things. I think they're kind of incorporating, Loki's ability to, in that very short, he was actually carried away by the Bifrost too. So they're going to incorporate that kind of level of sorcery into that kind of very, very human mystery. We came into contact with the TVA, the Time Variance Alliance, so they're going to be working with Loki, or at least forcing him to work with them under whatever amendments and guidelines they have in store for him. So a lot of stuff going on, lots and lots of stuff going on. So hopefully in this trailer we get a little bit more kind of story and content that makes a bit more sense, and hopefully allows us to have some sense of an idea of what's going on going into it. But yeah, new trailer. So let's check it out. Oh, he's been captured with the Tesseract. Yeah, he's been captured with the Tesseract.
The Timekeepers have built quite the circus.
The Timekeepers?
And I see the clowns are playing their parts to perfection.
Oh, damn. There's artwork all over the walls.
Big metaphor guy. I love it. Makes you sound super smart.
I am smart.
I know.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, a cat. Oh. And a guy.
Please sign to verify this is everything you've ever said.
This is absurd.
Oh, another page. Yeah.
Sign this too.
Yeah, this is for everything he's ever said in his life ever. That is a big book. Yeah, all of his lines from any movie.
Protect
Yeah.
the proper flow of time.
Okay.
You picked up the Tesseract, breaking reality.
Yeah.
You'd help us fix it.
Branch realities. Exactly what the Ancient One wanted to avoid.
Loki perspective.
Yeah.
Do I get a weapon?
Nah.
You are the weapon, Loki. June 11th. Okay.
You really believe in this Loki variant?
Luckily, he believes in himself enough for the both of us.
It is adorable that you think you could possibly manipulate me.
Oh, damn.
I'm 10 steps ahead of you.
Damn.
You're not big on trust, are you?
Oh, boy.
You can trust me.
Loki, I've studied almost every moment of your entire life. You've literally stabbed people in the back like 50 times.
Why never do it again?
Yeah, let's not make it a 51st. Yeah. Yeah. That looks so much like Black Widow. That looks so much like Black Widow. Yeah. Damn. Okay. Okie dokie then. Or Loki dokie, I should say. Loki dokie then. Loki dokie. So we do get a bit more history and setup for who the TVA are. So so then, as Owen Wilson himself described, they do actually work to perfect the flow of time. So it ties in directly. It ties in so well to exactly what the Ancient One described. Like, you know, like you like. It doesn't matter which stone. She described it happening with the time stone because that's what happened. Like that's the stone she had. Like she even described it. If even one of the stones are taken out, then everything goes haywire. Everything goes awry. And Loki literally took one of the stones out of that reality. That was the space stone. And he even said they work to perfect. They work to pretty much enforce what the Ancient One believes in, the accurate flow of time, with the Infinity Stones working in coordination with one another. So if you take one stone out, then we literally saw the visualization of the branch realities, like all the possible kind of, you know, crappy endings happening all at once and stuff. So they work to perfect that kind of thing. And with Loki being the one who actually stole the space stone, who actually tried to escape with it, he has messed with their kind of he has messed with their kind of vision of what is the perfected flow of time. So he has to pay the price. I think that is also like an interesting way to actually punish his character. Like he steals an Infinity Stone and he messes up the flow of time. So then he has to work with them to actually perfect it. And like they have to go to various branched off realities and actually, you know, correct what's gone wrong and fix everything. So that's fun. And we had various different shots, I think. So this time we actually had a shot of him sitting with that woman, with that person. And then again, it's always the back shots, I think, until we actually get to the show, until we actually get to the release of the show, or like whatever episode that she shows up in. I think it's always, in the trailers, it's always going to look like Black Widow, but from the back with the flaming red hair and the black suit and everything. It's always going to look like her. And I think, you know, I don't know if that's actually going to be him visiting her on Vormir, because I think it looks like it could be Vormir too. It's definitely like another planet. It definitely kind of could pass for Vormir being as dark and desolate as it is. Definitely looks like that. And then we have another shot where New York itself is in ruins, and you can see in the distance the Avengers Tower is in tatters too. So you can just about make it out on the side there too. So all these different all these different worlds and cities kind of torn to shreds because of the fact that, you know, they don't have all the Infinity Stones and all these different things that could happen, because, you know, in those timelines, like all of the not all of the Infinity Stones are there, not all of them exist. Some of them have been taken out of different timelines and everything. So I think that is a very interesting way to actually bring the Ancient One's fears into fruition, into actual material existence. Like, you know, because I think it was very briefly explored in Endgame, but then they also made sure to try and make sure that didn't happen with Cap actually returning the stones at the very end. But then with this one, it's like it still kind of works. I think as soon as it happens, you're like, okay, but that still happened. Like, you know, Cap may have actually, because then they literally then had to go to another place because Loki actually took the stone in the end. They still had to go even further back in time to the 70s and actually go to one of the original SHIELD bases and actually steal the stone from there. So that one is still gone. So like a different variation of the time stone itself is still missing from that timeline, and the TVA tracks onto that. They track onto every possible version of something, of an Infinity Stone that can exist, and they track onto it, and they lock onto it when it goes missing. And they found Loki, they brought him in. And they're like, you know, so you decided to play God, like you are, like you usually are, and you decided to actually steal an Infinity Stone and escape with your life, and, you know, try and, you know, enact mischief all across the rest of the timeline and the universe and everything. So now you got to pay the price and help us fix the timeline you messed up. So I think that is a very, very kind of accurate punishment for Loki himself to suffer. So it's a very interesting story to follow. I think that much makes sense. That they're actually bringing that kind of concept of the Infinity Stones needing to exist all at once into fruition, actually exploring what could happen to different timelines and different places and different universes if they don't exist, and that kind of stuff. So I mean, that kind of makes me wonder if they're going to do a multiverse thing, like if they would do a multiverse thing, like if they're kind of tracking alternate dimensions, alternate timelines, different versions of existence that can exist with and without certain Infinity Stones, if they're going to actually explore. Because I think maybe not in depth, but I think they're not going to explore in depth what the alternate universes are, like bringing in other characters maybe, but just generally kind of exploring, you know, all the different kind of possibilities of existence, because I think that's what the Ancient One has actually described the multiverse as being like, as well as other alternate realities that exist. It's also like different variations of actual different scenarios playing out and different timelines that can exist due to various factors happening or not happening. So I think like in terms of time, that's the different kind of AUs and multiversal possibilities we're going to see explored. So that much makes sense. And then yeah, given that this is an older Loki, this is the Loki that didn't get any redemption. This is the Loki that is as mischievous as he was back in the 2012 Avengers movie. So this is the Loki that hasn't gone through Dark World or Infinity War. Like he hasn't become the Loki. He never became the Loki that we actually knew and loved, and we had to watch die at the beginning of Infinity War. So he's just as mischievous. He's just as conniving and cunning and deadly and everything. And even the TVA even knows that. Like the TVA, I think they know his future too. So like I think they are less than happy to have to work with a Loki that hasn't actually learned any of his lessons, and he hasn't actually learned to be better or to do better. He still is mischievous. He still wants his own way. He's still willing to stab people. Like, I think I love that line too. Like, you know, I've like Owen Wilson's character telling him, like, you know, I've literally watched your entire life story play out. I've literally watched you stab 50 people in the back, literally and figuratively, and him being like, well, then I won't do it again. I won't do it the 51st time. Like that kind of analysis of his character, that they're working with someone that they know hasn't actually become the kind of anti-hero yet or anything like that. So seeing that Loki, I think that could also be an interesting opportunity to actually make him go through that development again, but just in a different way, like making him work with different people, making him fight to preserve a future that he himself could want in the end. And maybe inevitably making him out to be like, once again the anti-hero. So I think that is a very interesting version of Loki to actually be able to work with. So I can't wait to see how they pull that off. But yeah, that is pretty much all I have. Very much excited to see exactly what this series is going to be like and how it's going to be executed, and then like just how much of that kind of concept of the Infinity Stones and their disappearance and affection of the timeline the show explores, and how they try and develop this version of Loki, and if he actually survives to the end, and if he does survive, then how much more of him can we see in the future? Because I think a very, very common question is like, I mean, WandaVision, it understandably doesn't really get a season 2 because season 2 is basically Doctor Strange 2, but then the Falcon and Winter Soldier, there's no movie confirmed ahead of it, there's no kind of tie-in yet that they've actually confirmed, so I think that like a season 2 is kind of, you know, theorized for that, and then for this one, there's no direct connection besides from Doctor Strange 2 as well, so I think this one could, I don't know if this one could, because I think Doctor Strange 2 is now actually release-wise slated to release next year, so I don't know if this one could also connect into that, because I think Loki is of a similar kind of prowess in terms of power and skill in terms of, in comparison to Doctor Strange and Wanda as well, so don't know if this one could lead into that. I think with the Infinity Stones being explored, I think it could definitely tie into that, and like that kind of affection of the timeline, and that kind of affection of, you know, who else kind of suffers from these consequences too. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how it all goes down. But that is all I have. That is pretty much all I have. So that was the official new trailer for Loki and my reaction to it. So thank you guys, as always, so much for being here and for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, then salt and burn that like button. Comment on what you thought of the trailer and what you look forward to in the show and what your theories are for the show. And yeah, that is it. So I will see you guys next time.